Hello everybody, another live stream on the Real Russia channel, 1st of July 2020. This is Ivanovo, the continue of Golden Ring of Russia tour. My name is Sergey Baklakov. Together with me here is my family, my daughter and my wife. If you're watching this video already after the stream, then don't forget that you may not watch the whole video, but fast forwards a big parts of it. Now waiting for more people to join, and we will start walking traditionally. Ivanovo. It used to be known as the town of brides. It seems not anymore. The thing is, in the Soviet days, it was at the center of textile industry, and mostly in textile industry there works the ladies. So here was a lot of ladies. But what is really the truth, that Ivanovo somehow became the center for Constructivism architecture. And now you can see the first example of Constructivism architecture. This is an architecture of 1920s, 1930s. Such a brutal architecture, Constructivism. Strict lines, less decorations, less fretworks, and more of functionalism. This is a former palace for railway workers. Now this is an exhibition of a folk arts. Okay, let's start little by little. Keep joining and give your likes. Okay, dudes, 1st of July 2020. My name is Sergey Baklakov. Together with me, Albina Baklakova, and my daughter Victoria Baklakova. The whole family is here. We continue our Real Russian Tour 2020. It's a road trip and a full Golden Ring of Russia tour. This is already the town 6 out of 8 official towns of the Golden Ring of Russia. We started in Sergiev Posad, then went to Perslava-Zalesky, then to Rostov the Great, Yaroslavl. Yesterday we were in Kostroma. Now this is nothing but Ivanovo, or as we say, Ivanovo, the capital or the central city of Ivanovo region. It's 290 kilometers from Moscow. Yeah, at first we drove up north from Moscow. Now we go already to the south. We are getting back, so that's why the Golden Ring is actually called Ring, because really this is the ring. We came to Ivanovo. And first, what I'm gonna say that, I am not sure at all why Ivanovo was added to the Golden Ring list, because look, it is absolutely different than all the rest towns, and they actually have nothing in common with the like a real ancient history of old Russia, old Rus. Come on. So I think that it is definitely far-fetched. The thing is, actually, it's in between of the towns, really historical towns. But Ivanovo was founded. I mean, at first it was just a settlement, like the village, since 1608, and here was happening nothing so significant as, let's say, in other cities. For example, Sergiev Posad, this is the residence of Saint Sergius of Radonezh, or Perslava-Zalesky is the place where, Alexander Nevsky was born. Here it's not. Here it's not, but look, here is more of the Soviet history. For example, here, exactly in Ivanovo, was the very first Soviet. Soviet actually means the council of the workers. So this was the first Soviet. It's like the council of the workers, when the opinion of workers was taken into the consideration. Let me tell you that before the Soviets, here was a monarchy, was a Tsarist Russia, right? And like nobody really was listening to the opinion of the workers, right? And so here is a lot of the Soviet history. And look, Ivanovo, known as the town, used to be known as the town of brides, because here used to be a lot of ladies, because it was and still the center for a textile industry. And in this industry, mostly the ladies, the women are working. Well, here they also have the cathedrals. This is Visnicianski Church or Visnicianski Cathedral, but not as much as in other towns, like real towns of the Golden Ring. Real, old, historical cities of an ancient Rus. So I can say once again that definitely Ivanovo pretty much far-fetched as the town of the Golden Ring. But we're here, however, and we're going to explore. However, what I found really interesting, that this is nothing but the real capital of the Soviet Constructivism architecture. About 60 monuments of the Constructivism here. And actually, we just already saw the first there. You see, the first one, it's a former palace for railway workers. Now, this is an exhibition of folk arts. And here is another example of Constructivism, the railway station. The railway station. When more people will come here, I will tell you more about what is Constructivism, the history of Constructivism. But now, let's start already watching this. Well, I will tell you how come Constructivism came to the Soviets at all, and how actually it was like created as the whole style. Look at that. This is a part of a railway station. Mosaics. In this city, in Ivanovo, you definitely will find more of the Soviet flavor than ancient Russia. And yes, because, you know, as the town, to the town, Ivanovo turned just in 1871. Constructivism, it's the architecture of functionalism, of kind of strict lines, where no any extra decoration, and as they say, where is no art for the sake of art, but an architecture in order to serve to people and to be pretty useful. You know, back in 1910s, 1920s, also there was pretty popular such a direction in the design around the graphic designers, like futurism, cubism, suprematism, purism. Well, somehow, if you watch my videos already for a long time, I told you that somehow I love as just a very beautiful and artistic classical, neoclassical architecture, but also somehow I love such an architecture as well, like constructivism, functionalism, monumentalism, and I don't really appreciate this. It's the cashiers. They are closing the view, so we can see all the architectural composition of the railway station, and this is no good. And look, you have no idea how great it is also inside. I mean, from the point of view of the Soviet history and Soviet arts and graphics. But you can actually search for the photographs. Just Ivanovo railway station inside, and search around Google Images, and you will see it. It's awesome there. I mean, if you like the things like this, then you will love it. But who knows, maybe we can get inside. I don't know. But seems like it's closed or what? Vokzal, Vauxhall. Well, let's try to go through. Где? Курить запрещено. Не знаю, вот же открыто.
Ну вот же написано, вход запрещен.
Here goes the reconstruction. Wow. Okay, let me show you. Whoa. Whole renovation, which is pretty good, and good to see that they are not making everything into the ceramic and granite tile. Да, сейчас выхожу. Okay. Ну, там реновация идет.
А тот открыт, да?
Не, ну вообще я показал.
Ну, entry написано.
Ну и ладно. Мало ли что написано. Now on the way. Oh, look at that. Look at that monument. This is awesome. Wow, so we're supposed to come to just another one ancient location of the Golden Ring of Russia, but came to archipelago of the Soviet art and architecture. Big time.
А, это памятник молодым революционеркам текстильного края.
Okay, Albina said this is the monument to young revolutionary women, textile women. So this is the monument to female textile worker who fought for the revolution. Big time. And look once again at this absolutely awesome monument to constructivism in the Soviet Russia. And look, this is the only railway station in Russia which is made in a style of constructivism. Big time. And look, I'm glad that now it goes through the whole renovation, and as far as I see, they are making the renovation in the right way. Unfortunately, like many facilities in Russia, they was spoiled with the renovation when they just, like making the renovation, but they used cheap materials and just close all the existed decorative elements. Now, based on what I saw, everything goes just good. Awesome, awesome. And that is really good that the door was open and at least for like 20 seconds, but I was able to film the interior for you. Так, давайте попробуем здесь перейти по-быстренькому. The capital of Constructivism, Ivanovo, which is actually good. Okay, while we go, I see that there's already several super chats came and time to read them. Logi Beats, all the time supporter, thank you. Good evening all and Baklikov family, have a great evening. Good evening to you too, or maybe good day. Atom Bomb 31458, oh, love the cathedrals, cheers Sergey. Grandopolis, I had a dream last night where I was on a train in Russia. I'm sure it will come through, true. Until then, there is your channel. Hope you enjoy the cash.
Thanks for super chat message. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yes. Well, cash is something what everybody enjoy.
Yes.
Well, Abu Hamid Al Ghazali, you're insane. I am.
Super chat.
Yeah. Victoria. Look, this is, well, here is not only the constructivism, because constructivism existed like only for maybe 15, 20 years, but then the situation got changed, the political situation changed, and they got back to the more traditional, more classical architecture. And this is already like what is called Stalinist architecture. It is already like 1940s, 1950s. The neoclassical monumentalism. And this is late Soviet Union. The population here is about like 405,000 residents. Well, it's actually like a big town. It's big town. It's one of the towns which is definitely in top hundreds of the towns of Russia. And this is pretty good because look, in Russia, 1,115 towns. So yeah, it's like stably, like pretty stable, average, relatively provincial city. Lenta. This is like an analog of Walmart. A huge mall, 24/7 hypermarket. Gabby Hyman, when Vika gets her phone, she has to call me. Thank you for super chat. Lenta, what means actually like the line or a ribbon. This is an all Russia chain of a huge malls, Walmart-like malls. We don't have a Walmart here, but we have Lenta. Lenta everywhere. You know, it's interesting, but just 1 hour before we have started here was a huge rain and even hurricane. I even got my coat. But as soon as I started to film, the weather got good. So it seems like the universe loves us. So it's made the weather better. And look, what's interesting that as soon as I'm trying to show the Soviet objects, the weather is getting a little worse than usual. Like you remember, we've got under the rain in Moscow when I was showing All Russia Exhibition Center. Iman de Valera. Thank you, big time. Hello, Ronald. Ronald, big time. It's already modern constructions. The modern residential building. Together with one of the historical buildings here.
Now I'm not in the phone. I'm working.
I got it off.
And now I'm working. And now in the city.
One of the historical constructions here, which is now turned to commercial estate. $117 likes. Woohoo! Okay, give more likes. Okay, now we came to the next example of the Constructivism architecture. It's a former observatory which is now turned into the school. Here it is. Now we'll get closer. Actually, here is no traffic lights, just a zebra. Everybody have stopped just when we go. And look, this is also the Constructivism. Дай мне руку. Give me your hand. Whoa, it seems dangerous. Okay, here we are. The house which is known as the House Bird. The House Bird with that tower on its top. It's, by the way, the prospect of Lenin, an avenue of Lenin. Vladimir Lenin. Constructivism. And look, nowadays, next to constructivism or neoclassical Stalinist buildings, look what is here. McDonald's. McDonald's. Okay, come on. And now going to the next monument to constructivism. Так, давайте чуть сюда. Давайте сюда. Come on here. This is so-called the house ship. Here is also one, seems like 1970s building. Well, not that interesting because such residential buildings you can find everywhere. But really seems like Ivanovo is the biggest archipelago for constructivism. Maybe only in Moscow there's more constructivism buildings. But again, also what is interesting here, that when I learned the map, I have found that here in Ivanovo, what is also good, that all of them are located in about like pretty close to each other. So here it is. Here it is. Look at this architecture. The house ship. Constructivism, 1920s, 1930s. And look, what a long balcony. What a long balcony. And actually this is a pretty constructivism thing when the balcony goes like this way. You see, like from there and here and all the way. The accent on the balconies. So come on dudes. Ivanovo. Come on this way. Come on this way. Ну так произносится. I also like this old school windows. I mean, this old school glassing on the first floor. Unfortunately, in some places here is already the plastic doors. Constructivism architecture considered that it's not only the place to live for people, but like to have everything in a one community. So I believe that definitely the first story was planned for the stores already from the very beginning. And look how they play with the forms. Different forms. Well, unfortunately, I mean not some, but many balconies, they are glassed in a different way. Let's say in St. Petersburg now they are gonna to prohibit the balconies, because it's like it's a facade. It's like facade do not belong to you. And the thing is, when you glass the balcony, it is destroying the architectural idea. This is really a kind of buildings that I never saw before. I mean, I saw the constructivism buildings a lot, but not like this one. It seems like back in the Soviet days, in 1920s, 1930s, they let Ivanovo to be like a playground for all of those innovative architects. The house ship.
Кто-то он сайдингом немножко закрыл, да, все балкон?
No. This is actually a huge building.
Знаешь, куда идти, да?
And there's one more building, which is an additional building. Да, я знаю. Нам сейчас надо по проспекту Ленина дальше двигаться. Okay, let's keep moving.
Покажи, какой кирпич, потом.
By the way, here, under the layer of a plaster, we can see the bricks.
Вот такой с этой слой штукатурки, вот.
A huge layer of plaster, and there is a pretty strong bricks. Да, блогеры. Петербург. Конструктивизм. Иваново. Кстати. Мы как Михаил Шор.
Сереж, куда, да, сейчас?
Да, сейчас туда дальше. Там будут.
Давай.
Быстрей.
Хотел?
Наверное.
А ты ему не дал аккаунт, да?
Он не спросил меня.
А?
Он не спросил меня.
Я думала, что он телефон достал.
Это он с кем-то разговаривал. Ivanovo. Town number 6 in a golden ring. Another constructivism. Well, now once almost 250. Wow, looks nice. Nice idea. Like from the hands there grows the tree. So once 150 people joins, once 150 people already joins, it's time to tell you a little bit more about the constructivism, you know. I just was waiting for more people will join. But look, here is already the Stalinist architecture. Here in Ivanovo, we can see as a lot of constructivism as so-called Stalinist architecture. Because look, constructivism was pretty popular in 1920s, 1930s, but then the situation changed. You know, in order to understand how constructivism came to Russia, we need to get back to the very beginning of 20th century. It's when Russia became a participant of the First World War, 1914, 1918. It was the time of the end of a wonderful epoch with a golden age of a big achievements of world science and culture. And this is the time of Russia that we've lost, and the time of the world that we've lost. I mean, Russia of that epoch, like imperial pre-revolutionary epoch, and the world changed back then as well. It was really not an easy times, the time when we just went through 2 revolutions and civil war in Russia. It's a really dark period for almost 10 years, from 1914 to 1923. And on the ruins of Russian Empire, here came the new government, USSR, the new life and a new priorities with absolutely new people relationships. And same as the new architecture as a natural and objective continue of all the changes in life and in culture. So because of this, here came the new architecture. The new architecture in the face of so-called constructivism. It's 1920s, 1930s. This is the years of constructivism in Russia. Constructivism came here to Russia as the result of all the time unstoppable searchings for new forms, and not just new forms, but the new forms in a conditions of refusal of all the old forms, of all the old traditions, of everything what used to be before. An architecture which was based on the refusal of an art for the sake of art, you see? And since then, an art had to serve to the industrial production, and industrial production had to serve to people. You see what's the point? An architecture in the style of constructivism is also known as Middle Wars architecture, because it was right exactly in the middle of the World War I and World War II. And constructivism was before the Stalinist architecture, where we can see the return to more artistic forms that came for a change to brutal constructivism. Well, like here, this is the Stalinist building already, like the end of 1940s, the beginning of 1950s. And here in Ivanovo from 1918 to 1932, it was a time of an architectural avant-garde, where was offered and actually released, the main thing that released the most revolutionary like city building designers and architectural projects in a style of constructivism. Most of those constructivism architects were an ideologies of utilitarianism or so-called industrial art. And they all like called an artist to create a useful things. As I told you, not an art for the sake of art, but an art for the sake of comfort and usability. Those constructivists, they dreamed about a new harmonic human who use a comfortable things and live in a comfortable city. One of the theoretics of industrial art, Boris Arvatov, wrote that the followers of constructivism will not depict a beautiful body, but they will grow up a real, alive human. They will not draw the woods, but they will grow up the parks and gardens. And back then, the industrial art really became more than just a concept. It became the projects that they are released. Что случилось?
Я хочу купить карандаш для бровей.
Okay, let's keep walking. So in 1920s, 1930s, as I told you, it was pretty popular. All the constructivism ideas, same as futurism, cubism, suprematism, purism in a graphic design, you know, like Kandinsky, Malevich, Rodchenko. But then in 1930s, like closer to the end of 1930s, the political situation has changed. And actually, at first, they started to limit the constructivism, but then prohibited it at all. And they got back to the neoclassical architecture, to the Stalinism, to the monumentalism, when vice versa, they again started like to show the artistic architecture. No minimalism anymore. Well. Who is it here? Lenin. Vladimir Lenin. The founder of USSR. No matter where we go, there is always Lenin. And this is all the time piece off. Ronald's. Comrades Ronald's. Constructivism, minimalism, functionalism, futurism, cubism, suprematism, purism. No arts for the sake of arts, but an art for the sake of functionality, of a comfort and usefulness. Look, there on the building, it's not constructivism, but just showing the building. There's already grows up the plants. That's funny, you know. Okay, dudes. Yes, let's go there. we today exploring the constructivism. Damn, Ivanovo has nothing in common about the Golden Ring and those ancient days. And I'm telling you, that's really, it's pretty far-fetched that Ivanovo is in the list of Golden Ring tour. But what's interesting, this is the capital of constructivism. It's not one of those old ancient Russian towns. It's not a town of brides anymore. But this is definitely the capital of constructivism. Okay, come on. Ну, давайте здесь перейдем. Здесь вот тоже была зебра, которой сейчас нету.
Давай, победи.
Attila the Hun. Sergey, thank you for showing so many places. Also, Ronald is doing very good, spanking the trolls out of chat. Grandopolis, one super chat is not enough. Will you make some basic Russian videos? My interest in Russia grows. My ancestors were Mennonites in Russia before they left to the United States, the 1870s. I want to learn Russian. Yes, I'm making different videos all the time about Russia. Well, now it's a road trip, but I also making a lot of other videos in the normal days when I'm not on a road trip. Your presentation and camera skills are superb. It does feel like we're actually there with you guys. This is pretty awesome. This is pretty awesome. That's what I'm trying to give. I mean, this feeling. But in the same time, I can say that but in the same time, I can tell you that actually there was the time when I just started the live streams. Seems like not all of my subscribers loved the live streams. Like they got used to more regular videos. But look, everything depends on the situation. Isn't obvious now that now when I'm on a road trip, it's just more efficient and easier to make the live stream videos. because look, we are driving all the time, driving and exploring. I really like, well, a lot of time goes for everything, for the preparation to the videos in every new town, and it takes a time for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and for settling in and settling out from the from the hotels. And if it would be just a regular format, I would be not able to do all of this. So here, live stream, it seems like it's interesting to me, And look, these non-stop videos, they have as advantage the disadvantage that it takes a lot of time. Okay, so the live stream then turns to like 2-3 hours video. But from the point of view of information, the advantage that I give even more information than if I would do the regular video. And many people want like to see like the whole actual walk. Many people want to see this. They want to feel like they were here with me. They want to know how many time exactly it is taken to get from one place to another place, and just want to know everything what we saw. And they want to feel the geometry of the space, and everything. And if you're watching the live stream as a recording, you can just fast forward some fragments, And that's good. But it's good that seems like majority of the audience loves this format. Now let's get back to an avenue of Lenin. So yeah, the beginning of 20th century, the Russian Empire fell off. The new authority came. So they need the new forms in everything, including the architecture. And so they started searching the new forms. And they chosen to develop Constructivism, which was based on the theory of a new people, of a new way of life, which is into functionalism. Also, you need to understand that back then, why it actually was so supported and so like up to date. Because back then, many people still lived in like a wooden barracks, and living in the communities, in the houses, communities, not in the communal apartments, by the way, but in a big community houses. It seemed like really interesting, and the perspective for people. Well, now I guess you already see, looking at the other examples of constructivism, that this is a pure constructivism. Damn, I don't like it that such a wide avenue. It don't have traffic lights. It's just uncomfortable. This is also pretty constructive. Вика, мы туда не идем. Вика, мы туда не идем. Whoa. Pure constructivism. But again, this glassing is out of style. It is interrupt the idea of an architect. Strict forms, maximum of functionality. Constructions with a design made not for the sake of art, but for the sake of usability and usefulness. But look, I like this decision. Architectural decision, look. They really played a lot with the forms. And look at that round windows. Dudes, it's interesting. It's interesting, big time.
Ты иди по асфальту. Вон там иди по асфальту. Нет, там. Где люди ходят.
Ivanovo, remember, this is not a real town of the Golden Ring. This is not a town of brides anymore. But this is definitely the capital of constructivism.
Такие балконы большие, да?
Huge balconies, that's really huge black balconies. And look, it seems as huge. Maybe you can't see this from the video, but look, it seems like it's enough like to place a whole table here and like to hang out, really hang out on a balcony. It's huge, believe me, it's huge. And look, here is actually turned to be the whole block of constructivism buildings. 1920s, 1930s.
Мне кажется, потолки здесь минимум 3 метра, да?
Не знаю. It's a nice archipelago for constructivism. Big time. Here came some more of your super chats. Let me read them all. John Deere and Comrade Ronald, this is more real Russia. Ray living good. Thank you all, guys. And look, Ronald, well, you're thinking that this is more like a real Russia, but in most of Russian cities, there is no such constructivism buildings like here. Because look, it seems like they let Ivanovo to be something like how to say, the sandbox for all of those innovative constructivism architects back in those days. So they let them to play a little bit more or less with this, like for 15, maybe like 20 years. But then said, well, that's okay. Let's get back to neoclassicals. Because look, even those, the ideas of constructivism, functionalism, they were pretty fashionable back in those days. However, an old school of an architect, conservative people, conservative, how to say, architects, it was big, and like all the time they were saying that, dudes, well, constructivism is constructivism, but we don't have to forget the basics. We don't have to forget the roots of architecture, the roots that takes its beginning from the ancient Greece, ancient Rome. And yeah, after all, look at those Stalinist architecture. That's the real neoclassicals. So we go, and here is more constructivism buildings. The constructivism was influenced big time with the graphic designers and artists back in those days who followed for the style of suprematism, cubism, purism. Look, nice balconies, but again, they glassed the balconies and it doesn't look the way it had to look. Industrial art.
Вот в том-то и дело,
Big
что
time.
такого криминального тот была аудитория. Чем мы тут придумываем? Что там? Снимает, как ты мне говоришь. А если бы он изначально бы там... Мама, все. Я тебе просто правду расскажу. Тихо, тихо. Я тебе всю правду расскажу. Да, молодец. Тихо.
I need to check the map where we are. Also, the center of this city. So meanwhile showing the Constructivism architecture, I'm showing a part of the historical city center. With these brutal street lines, you can really feel the spirit of those days. A little bit utopian and a little bit brutal. The new country, after fell off the Russian Empire in the middle of two wars, World War I, World War II. Meanwhile, there also was two revolutions and civil war. More of constructivism. But here is more typical for golden ring of Russia towns and architecture of 19th century. But look, it seems like a new residential building, but an architect's here trying to keep them closer to the constructivism style as well. Bless you. Bless you. Iman de Valera. Big time. You guys don't forget likes. Likes. New architecture. Well, it's definitely you're getting influences with everything what is around you. Probably this is a local architect. And look, they saved all the most common things of the constructivism architecture. You know, look at these forms, at these lines, at those round windows. So constructivism version 2.0. Constructivism, 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 constructivism. I feel safe here because I can look like a gopnik. Constructivism 2.0. Yeah, but, well, let me tell you that at first when I realized that Ivanovo actually have nothing in common with an ancient architecture, an ancient history, I was a little bit like disappointed. But now I see that it's actually not that bad because this is the capital of constructivism. This is a kind of architecture. The doses of an architecture, constructivism architecture, like here in one place, you will not find anywhere else. From this point of view, this is a unique city. Big time. Correct, big time. This is the palace of kids and youth creativity. Посмотри, как на мост пройти. Посмотри, как на мост пройти.
Какой мост?
Ну вот.
Ну вот ниже, что ли? Вот
где мы?
Ну вот какой-то мост есть.
Нет, вот на проспект Ленина. Сюда нам надо дойти.
Ну да. По Батурина.
Окей, давай, пошли.
Да, ручка.
Hope you enjoy the walk. Not only constructivism. Sergey, am I a communist? You're not a communist at all. You hate communists, actually.
Мам, ну ты согласна? 500 рублей это не много. А если ты выиграешь, то я 2 дня буду снимать.
That's the museum named after Burilin. He used to be like merchant and a rich guy back in the days of Russian Empire. And he was making a lot of good things for the town of Ivanovo. Yeah, this is not a constructivism. This is neoclassical. But look, another awesome constructivism there. Whoa. The circus, and there is a Ferris wheel. No horses. The town of Ivanovo, 290 kilometers northwest from Moscow. The town, which is founded on the bank of Udal River. And we are now actually going through this river. It seems like some of former manufacturers, textile manufacturers, and look, this is another great example of constructivism. This is the theatrical complex of Ivanovo. It is huge. Дай руку, дай руку, руку дай. Ivanovo. Victoria, big time.
Yes, huge time.
Lagging. Well, probably here is the zone where a weak LTE signal, or maybe we have changed the base. Is Koilikan, thank you. Did you vote today for the new constitution? No, I'm not, because I'm not in St. Petersburg. In order to vote, you need to be on these sites where you're registered. I haven't been at home already for a month. If you remember, At first I came to St. Petersburg, to Ufa, to visit my parents, and then I have started a really long road trip. Ivanovo definitely don't have that spirit as all 5 previous towns, like Sergiev Posad, Perslava-Zalesky, Rostov the Great, Yaroslavl, Kostroma. And look, I'm not gonna hide, once again, I'm not gonna hide that this town, the town of Ivanovo, is pretty far-fetched. It's pretty far-fetched from the point of view of being in an official list of the towns of Golden Ring. But I know for sure that it's not gonna happen with Suzdal. Tomorrow, Suzdal and Vladimir, that are also an old, truly old Russian towns with a millennial history. It seems like something in between of neoclassical and the constructivism. Probably late 1930s. But, you know, an Orthodox churches exist here as well. The merchant houses look same as over 100 years ago. Now the function of merchant buildings getting back. On the first floor they used to have their malls. On the second floor they lived. I don't know if now somebody live on the second floors, but at least on the first floors here is the commercial estates. Let's say here is the bank. And here is VR Point, the center of virtual reality. This is the repair of Apple devices. And that's the wine market. And also the flower store. The trolley buses are really old here. This is actually awesome. I don't know, but I love an old trolley buses. Here is the watches repair. and repair of the shoes. It's a jewelry store which is called Latoy, Golden Pawn Shop. It's a pawn shop as well. The drugstore, Apteka, drugstore. Oh, coffee like. Maybe some coffee? Let's get some coffee.
Do they have hot chocolate?
I think so. Dudes, some coffee time. Okay, coffee time.
Yes, I hope.
Мне латте. Здравствуйте. Один латте. Да, а тебе?
Сейчас смотрю.
А есть двойной, двойной как шоколад? Шоколад?
Да.
Вообще шоколад есть шоколад?
Да, если у нас нет звезды.
А, горячий шоколад. Ну вот горячий шоколад, латте большой.
Горячий шоколад с...
Да, да, большой, большой.
И?
Тебе что, Альбиночка? Сейчас Альбиночка выберет.
Пап, можно пока я подержу камеру? Now we are want to buy some coffee and they are coffee and I'm hot chocolate. Abu Hamid Al Ghazali, thank you so much for the super sticker. You know, all super chats, all super stickers helped me with my new phone. Sergey Baklikov, big time, huge time. Thank you all who support this video, likes, views, comments, super chats. А я просто хожу, разговариваю. I'm just talking, yes. Сахар тоже нет. Тебе нужен сахар, Влад?
Hi Vika, hi. Now we are want to buy some coffee and hot chocolate. I'm hot chocolate, and they are want to coffee. Yes, but I don't like coffee so much like a hot chocolate. Hot chocolate is my love, but green Lipton is number one in my drinks, in my favorite drinks. But hot chocolate is two place. Eric Gordon one. For coffee, hi Vika from Eric. Thank you so much. Huge time. На кофе, пап, for coffee.
Eric Gordon one. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Big time. I like the golden ring of Russia, these cities. And in Ivanovo, I think it's really good apartment. Now, apartment, yes. Now it's not hotel. We buy now it's a hotel. Yes, apartment.
You buy a book.
Book, not hotel. We book apartment, yes. And this is really comfortable apartment and really clear. Not not like in any hotels. In any hotels are bad.
But look, in the same time, it's cheaper than the hotel. You
Yes,
know?
and clearer.
Cleaner.
Yes, cleaner. In Ivanovo, good hotels are very
Expensive.
expensive.
I'm not sure why in Ivanovo it's expensive.
Yes, but apartment is more good variant.
Cheaper.
Нет,
Cheaper option.
нет, more good
Option.
option, yes, because it's more cheaper and cleaner. By the way, I have my own channel, Victoria Baklakova. Yes, where I'm shy, and in these channels I filmed 2 videos. Oh, Marina Giselle Lun, thank you so much. Huge time for super chats for Vika's phone. Thank you so much. I wanna buy a new phone faster. Yes, and I want a new phone. Yes, this because this phone are bad. It's we bought this phone 3 years ago to my mom, and then my mom bought iPhone XR, yes, and she gave me 7th iPhone. This phone is bad because of battery. Jay Gibson, thank you so much for super chat. Huge time. Go Vika, you are the champ. Oh, thank you. Yes.
Coffee is ready.
Я чемпион, мне пишут.
Латте.
Можно папа еще немножечко? Мне просто понравилось.
Иди пока там.
Смотри, там все, как ты смотри, ты не говоришь даже ничего.
Marina Giselle Lin, thank you. Go Vika, you're a champ. Jay Gibson, thank you, big time.
Скажите сейчас для подписчиков. Давай, Сережа, не, язык знать, давай. Давай.
They said they know English. How are you doing? How are you doing?
Now I cook background. Oh, yeah, chocolate. Hot chocolate, hot chocolate. Not chocolate.
How do you like Ivanovo?
Ivanovo. Because they are cool. They're not hot. People in Thailand, they're very hot also.
How long you are here?
5 years.
For 5 years. And where are you from?
I'm from Thailand.
Got it.
But I came here for I studied here. And this is my boyfriend bar.
Ты говоришь, шоколад?
Is this your boyfriend?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh.
And you're local?
No, from Arkhangelsk region.
Arkhangelsk region. Good. We are from Ufa, our motherland's Ufa. But now Bashkortostan, Bashkiria.
Near Ижевsk?
No.
Different, but the
Republic of Bashkortostan, the capital of Republic.
Not far from Kazan,
And
Samara,
Yes.
Orenburg.
Now we live in St. Petersburg.
For 2 years already in St.
Yes.
Petersburg.
And why you come here?
We just going through Golden Ring tour. We started in Sergiev Posad,
But
Pereslav-Zalesky.
you can come to us also. And we are very big company. We have 800 buyers.
Good.
And next city will very
Good.
Where you plan to
Next city, Suzdal.
Suzdal.
Check out Real Russia channel on YouTube. Real Russia. Настоящая Россия. Real Russia.
Кстати, мы любим кофе-лайк. В каждом
Yes.
городе заходим.
Yeah, it's in St. Petersburg, Coffee Like, and in Ufa as well, Coffee Like. So that's why we prefer to stop here. Okay, thank you.
Спасибо.
Thank
До
you.
свидания.
Goodbye.
Big time. Bye.
Good time. Goodbye.
It's still Lenin Avenue. We continue walking Lenin Avenue. And look, Another Stalinist monumental architecture. I'm not sure what it was, but now here is the mall, another Lenta Mall. You remember one of those Walmart-like malls, but just inside of historical building now. Таиланд.
Подержать кофе? Нет?
Coffee shop. Takeaway only. Lime Roman, get the best phone you can. Thank you big time. Victoria will be happy. Yeah, I think this is a good idea to make her to save up for a phone herself based on 10% share from all the super chats. And this is actually not that little, because look, 30% of super chats takes YouTube. So this is already not 10% out of hundreds, but 10% out of 70. Also, I pay 6% tax as a sole proprietor in Russia. Also, some money getting lost when you actually withdraw the money from YouTube. Until I will get it on my card, it's like another 4 or 5%. And all the rest goes for a development of this channel.
Все выкинуть, да?
Да. 75. Победа. Victory. 1945-2020. It's 75 years after the victory in World War II. 75. It's a long walkthrough. 1 minute yet. And we actually now came to another central place for the historical city center. It's the Square of Revolution. Well, Ivanovo is definitely more like the Soviet city. It's full of the Soviet history more than an ancient history, So I keep telling that It is pretty much far-fetched. I mean, I might even will send an official letter to accept this town from the list of the Golden Ring. I mean, this is nice town, for sure, nice town. I mean, like, it's stably good, relatively provincial. I mean, like, it's a nice average town of Russia. But look, it is completely interrupt the sense of the Golden Ring. Come on, come on. You saw yourself, there was 100 years history in all of the rest cities. And here we have the town founded in 1871, where was nothing significant in the history of ancient Russia. Nothing. It's a great city. I mean, like average city of Russia with a population of 409,000 residents. This city out of top 100 biggest cities of Russia. And this is a great capital of constructivism. But dudes, this is not an ancient Russian city. This is the monument to the fighters for revolution. This is for the fighters of revolution 1905. Not 1917, but 1905. And look, another example of constructivism right here. Those typical balconies. It's already typical. Yeah, I can say that such balconies are typical for constructivism. So this town is full of 19th century architecture, early Soviet constructivism, and late Soviet constructivism. But some new buildings appear here as well. Quiet panorama of just a regular day in an average Russian town of Ivanovo, the center for textile industry. The town which used to be known as the town of brides, because in textile industry mostly the women worked. But now I can't say that I see more ladies than I mean the ratio of women to men any different from other cities. For example, like, let's say here, we can see 4 men, not 4 women. But tomorrow we will get back on track and we will go to Suzdal, which is going to be pre-last town. It will be 7th town out of 8 official towns of the Golden Ring of Russia. And then after tomorrow it will be Vladimir. After Vladimir we will get back to Moscow, where we have to return the car. We rent the car, you know. You remember we rent the car. Okay, let's keep walking. Ну, ты можешь забить наш адрес. Что там, Батурина, Бубнова, 47.
Точно?
It's maybe the administration of this city. Because look, there is the Russian flag. There's a coat of arms.
Ну, пешком 12, так, 10 минут.
Нормально? Куда сейчас? Говори, куда.
А я понять не могу. Да.
Сейчас я тебе скажу.
Такое ощущение, что вон туда. Да.
Давай. Unfortunately, Ivanovo region, same as the town of Ivanovo, also getting late on the lifting the restrictions, coronavirus restrictions. For example, in Moscow, in St. Petersburg, in Ufa, it is already possible, let's say, to go inside of the restaurants to eat. But here it is not yet.
Туда прямо.
But look, this town turned to be a nice break in our unstoppable series of an ancient Russian towns full of architecture like this. Anyway, I absolutely satisfied that I've been here. This is definitely, well, you know that I'm interested in architecture, and for me, as for the architectural geek, it's pretty interesting. Not in any other town of Russia you will not find such a concentration of constructivism. Прямо, да?
Прямо. Что ж это было?
The Youth of Ivanovo. Yeah, it's actually kind of provincial thing when you're riding the car and there's the music playing and the guys are thinking that, well, they are cool, and they are thinking that they show everybody that they are cool, but in real they don't understand that people just looking at them like at the idiots who annoy big time. Like, come on, nobody freaking care. You're just annoying. Some modern, absolutely not interesting architecture. Yes, just a box covers with ceramic and granite tile. Look, this is just a stupid ceramic and granite. No, it's not even ceramic and granite. It's just a stupid plastic. Сейчас куда? Кстати, дай мне зарядочку. The Celtic Alpen Jeans Switzerland for the new phone. Thank you.
Oh, lights is on.
Another guy who is thinking that he is great.
That he's cool with the rap, Russian rap, in his car.
Опять сказать, не надо давать деньги, спасибо, за деньги. I'm not sure why it's taking so long. Oh, okay, finally. Постой, там чувак едет. We need to make sure they stopped. We are now going to the apartments that we have rented. The thing is, even though Ivanovo is definitely not a touristy city, not any big business center or stuff like that, but somehow, the hotels appear to be pretty expensive here. I'm not sure why. So we're supposed to stay in a hotel, but the hotels here were like $70, which is no good at all. Oh, some trash. So $70, $70 for Ivanovo. That's too much. So we decided to look for an apartment, and we have found an apartment for only $30. $30. Absolutely awesome apartment. Just in a residential building in the center of Ivanovo. Yes, like never we paid more than 45 so far. $45 during this road trip. Nowhere. This is just inadequate. So yeah, like 30, $40 maximum, $40. We have to be in the frames of budget. And also, besides the fact that we pay only $30 for an apartment, we also today saving up big time on breakfast and dinner and lunch, because there's a kitchen. It's just a normal apartment. It's just the apartment of one guy who just have it to rent it out, and somehow he prefer to rent it out for a short period, not for a month or 2 months. Probably this way he makes more money. And there's a normal full features kitchen. So Albino today just purchased Look, another constructivism. So Albina just purchased the groceries and cooking today. And she cook it pretty awesome. She is a great housewife. Absolutely amazing cook. So we saved up pretty good today on a food because we didn't go to the restaurant or cafe. I think that gender roles is pretty big in Russia, but it's considered like a normal thing. It's pretty normal thing. It's like all taken for granted. And most people consider that this is really how it have to be.
Я не буду сидеть.
А, нет, не курю.
Не курит девчонка?
Нет, нет. So here we are, just like 10 minutes from the Square of Revolution. And we came to this residential building. Look. Now for some time the connection will get lost while we will be in an elevator. So give it a time for the connection to get back, okay? We are living on the 12th floor. 12th floor here. I parked the car just here. There's the playground for kids. Many kids still there. Because here is pretty quiet yard. I parked the car here. No. So now connection probably will get.
А ты, Сереж, считай, какой я потом беру. Вик, свет включишь везде? Я уберу. Ты прям около входа снимай. Ага.
So here we are. We're getting inside, and here is a corridor. This is one-bedroom apartment with living room / kitchen. the bathroom.
Ты отметь, что все есть, зубные щетки, шампуни. Но это не в каждой квартире будет так. Не в каждом отеле трехзвездочном. Чистое полотенце.
Shower gel. Shower cabin.
Даже смотри, освежитель воздуха на любой вкус. Какой хочешь, такой будет вкус.
Hygienic shower. This is the room. The room. King size bed. TV box, but I don't care about TV boxes. There's a washing machine. Balcony. And look, it's also pretty long balcony. Now you can see also the panorama of the city. Not too many tall buildings. Так, что, могу зайти, да?
Я в туалете только.
So here is a living room slash kitchen.
Кстати, открой шкафчики, покажи там. Все было, чай, кофе.
Tea, coffee,
Да, всякие сорта.
different kinds of
Сахар.
tea, sugar.
Заменитель сахара.
It's sugar replacement, salt. Everything is here.
И там сковородки, кастрюли. Вот сейчас
All
гречку
the stuff,
будем
all the furniture.
готовить. Гречку.
Now we will making a buckwheat. It's going to be healthy food now.
Ну и сливки были, масло подсолнечное.
Milk cream. And also we
Это уже мы
purchased the
купили.
sausages. Now we're gonna eat it.
И конфетки, кстати.
Also here was some sweets.
Хозяин положил в такую вазу
Yeah, the
конфеты.
host
Комплимент.
made a compliment to us.
Очень приятно.
Very pleasant. Yes, it's pretty good. TV box. So here it is. Oh. got back to the apartment. It's like to the hotel, and this was another nice day in our Golden Ring tour. This is the town number 6 out of 8. Tomorrow, Suzdal, and then will be the final town of Vladimir. Then we will get back to Moscow, where I will release the car. Um, what to say? Well, Ivanovo, as I told you, is definitely a far-fetched town. If talk about this as about the town from the list of Golden Ring of Russia towns, because actually it has nothing to do with an ancient Russia history. It's pretty far-fetched. Here is a lot of Soviet history, especially if talk about the revolution days. Here was the very first Soviets actually in Russian language means council. It's a council of workers, of the Union of Workers. It's like the first council of workers where actually the opinion of workers turned to be considerable, right? And this is definitely the capital of constructivism. In my opinion, that Ivanovo hadn't to be in the list of Golden Ring of Russia because it's just inappropriate from the points of view of the ancient Russia history. But in the same time, I can say this is just another nice, quiet, relatively provincial, or to say average Russian town. It's kind of it's not that big, not that small. It's 409,000 residents. It's definitely for me turned to be the most interesting for its architecture. This is definitely the biggest archipelago of the constructivism architecture. It's absolutely obvious that they gave it. Ivanovo was giving to those architects back in 1920s, 1930s as the sandbox to play. So they are constructed over 60 constructivism buildings here. And I think that's probably only in Moscow you can find more. But in Moscow, they all will be in a very different parts of the city. And this is definitely Ivanovo is definitely the only city in Russia where you can find like the whole neighborhoods of the constructivism. And I think this is the main reason why it makes sense to come here. If you're not an architectural geek like me, so you can just miss this city or to visit this as just an average small town. Anyway, it was a nice break in between of truly old, truly Russian ancient towns. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for contributions and stay with us. Stay with us. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow about same time. Thank you. Thank you. Albinочка, say bye.
Bye.
Викочка, say bye.
Bye.
Yeah, Vika already, got exhausted as much as soon as she got in. She got to the sofa and just enjoying the time, just enjoying an evening.
Скажи ссылку на квартиру оставлю.
Yeah. I will leave if you've got interested in these apartments. I will leave some later. I will leave the link on booking to these apartments because yeah, we really love these apartments and the host is so welcoming. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. Okay, Boomy54, Ali, Sotha Tank, Sarah, Joe Hernandez, DWDE 115, See you tomorrow. Erwin Mazzi, you're welcome. Lisa Ann Pennington, Kaiserly Kovac, Angela Blanco, Marina Giselle G8 Nofal, Dana Cisbaro. Bye for now. Bye all for now. Scott Wheeler, D. Stew, D. Rome, Maria Zakharova, Avaro 59, Rod Moyes, Chas Brown, Kathy Norris, Editor TMS, John Doe, Real Warrior, Angela Blanco, S. Koilikin, Alexandra Y, Mama Bear. You all guys also don't forget to give likes. iPro, Krishna Parab, Osam Ahmeds, Bibi Jaga, Angus Tumac, Comrade Ronalds, Gabby Hyman, Chas Brown, Пока, John, For the Grill, Grim Reaper, God Busting for Low, Quantum, okay, thank you. See you tomorrow. Big time. Huge time. See you at 20. До свидания. Пока. Awesome Ahmed. Susan Nagy. Bye. Bye. Big time.